ladies and gentlemen and everyone in between and beyond. Welcome to the 16th episode of Campton Zoo. Today we're starting to build a structure that doesn't really work in the game, hopefully yet, but without it I don't think we can call the zoo a classic European experience, and to be honest, a normal zoo experience, since it can be found in many of them. Today we're building the main entrance to our new area of the zoo, which is an aquarium. I decided we can't really have a zoo without a proper aquarium. I would go ahead and say that pretty much any zoo has at least a single aquarium with either fresh or saltwater aquatic animals, so how could we not include that in our zoo? So as you can see, the location of this new project is right next to the panda enclosure, just above the restaurant. This is actually the furthest we can go in this direction, so a building like that actually fits perfectly here. Today we're building only the main entrance that has aquariums for mostly fish, amphibians, corals and aquatic plants. Also, right next to it, we're going to build what you currently see on the screen, which is the great seal habitat that has underwater viewing area that can be accessed the same way you can access the restaurant. The enclosure actually ended up being really big, and I don't really like the size of it, but I didn't have any other option to put here. I already had a vision in my head, so the size itself wasn't really up for debate. The only possible change was the species, but still I couldn't really imagine anything else here, since it would have to be a popular, active aquatic animal, and honestly the only one I could think of were penguins, but I already have a planned habitat in mind for them, which would be somewhere else in this project. I actually ended up changing the whole design a few times, but I knew I wanted it to be modern and have an irregular shape since we're in the new zoo area, which consists of new modern architecture like the panda or elephant enclosures that we built recently. I had this concept of duality on the back of my mind when I started this series, and I guess it naturally progressed to be in these two areas where it looks like one part was actually transformed from normal housing area that we so far labeled as being a European historical house of some rich and influential family, maybe royal since we're in Europe, and it was then changed to be able to accommodate certain species, and the other part being either newly constructed buildings or restored and renovated structures specifically built for an animal. If that doesn't scream Europe, I don't know what does. Literally every European city is a mix of old historical buildings and new apartment blocks, so I do believe it's something that will actually enhance the idea of the zoo being set in Europe. The inspiration for this build comes from the Blue Planet, which is a national aquarium in Copenhagen, Denmark. When I saw this building, my jaw literally dropped. It's so interesting and complicated, but also so simple. I love the way it kind of blends with the surrounding area and grows out of it, which is what I wanted to incorporate here. The shape itself is just an idea I had in mind. I like the idea of two circular planes rotated at inverse degrees, or just so one goes up where the other one goes down. There was some empty space between Panda enclosure and the entrance to the aquarium, and I decided to make this tiny garden/park area which usually new apartment blocks have. There's always some space for residents to sit within the area of the building, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's not much, but I would say it for sure complements the whole area. I wanted the main entrance to have this huge aquarium with sharks, manta rays, sea turtles, etc. But also these small ones that usually have specific species or several ones in one tank showcasing their environment, like piranhas, clownfish, or just other aquatic animals. There's also an information booth right in the middle where you can buy aquarium related merch, leaflets, etc. For the Big Sea Aquarium, I used a collection of pre-made corals, fish and plants from Steam Workshop, so huge thanks to Drac for creating this, it's insanely good. I made my own corals by using just colored rocks because I didn't exactly know how to make them realistic on such a small scale for the small aquariums, but here this pack fits perfectly, and if you're interested, this collection is called Drax Fish and Aquarium Set. The link will be in the description if you want to subscribe to it. As I said before, the gray seal habitat ended up being too big than what I would like it to be, but I'm happy with how it turned out. They usually have this wooden jetty or just a platform where keepers often come and give a show to people showing seal skills. There's also a path between this habitat and the parking lot next to the elephant enclosure that connects the underwater viewing area with what will be a saltwater part of the aquarium, which we'll be adding in the future. So that's gonna be it for this episode. There are more cinematic shots this time. I'm still trying to figure out the most efficient and effective way to showcase everything using this new feature. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, I would appreciate if you leave a like and a comment to help with the algorithm. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!